It is time to do some NXT review. This is the May 31st show, 2017. I'm Mike. He's Byron.
That's correct.
And let's kick this off. We open up with the Tommaso Ciampa promo. I liked it.
Yeah. He did a really good job. I think it went on a little bit long, but maybe
I would agree with that. I would have shaved a couple minutes off.
I think they probably had to fill time, and but he got around to it. Like it definitely went on a kind of a roller coaster of ups and downs, and then he capped it off really nice, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically the deal is that he's blaming the crowd and Gargano for his attack on Gargano because they were talking about replacing him, and he's irreplaceable. And it was good. It was good stuff. I liked it. Enjoyed it. A little bit long-winded, but awesome.
Well, he said repeatedly, "I'm not an afterthought." I would have liked him to cap that off with a line like, "I'm not an afterthought. I'm an exclamation point," something like that.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But that's why they don't hire me, because I have good ideas.
Then we got the Danny Burch promo, which I like this the UK title tournament way they do it. It's kind of like the Cruiserweight Classic in the way that they treat it being like more legit, which means less theatrics and more just I'm gonna win the title. Kind of like what they do in New Japan when they do like promo packages, like with Bad Luck Fale before his match with Okada, for example. So I like that. Enjoyed it. Then we had an injury update. Ciampa needs major surgery, but Gargano hasn't spoken to anyone, so there was no update, which was a tad annoying just because they had said that they had an update on Gargano.
Yeah,
and then
that was a bit
just
weird.
to not have one was a bit that's a bit silly. Then we had Bobby Roode do an interview where he said he was going to have a glorious celebration, but that it was exclusive.
I didn't see the point in this, and I don't really enjoy Bobby Roode doing these kind of interviews. I would rather him just come out and do
it's more that I don't enjoy these interviews, like the whole riding in the car thing. I not a fan.
Yeah,
doesn't really matter who's doing it.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think that they should they have him do like little soundbite things right before matches, or maybe have him do a soundbite. You could drop a soundbite thing in like twice an episode, just 10 seconds of Bobby Roode saying something in some kind of fancy place, and then move on.
Yeah, pretty much. That would have probably worked better. Show us even like a little bit of the celebration, not the whole thing, but just give us that taste. Let us know what a glorious exclusive celebration is. Because otherwise, why are we supposed to be jealous? Then we moved on to the UK title match: Danny Burch versus Pete Dunne. We were just talking about this, that I would kind of have liked if Burch's wrestling style was a little bit more boxing centric, but this was a good match. I enjoyed it. It had a good flow to it, and both of these guys can put on a pretty decent show. Really stiff match.
Yeah, I liked the match, but it was also a lot more. They seem to keep doing this. Like they're trying to get fresh new talent or reintroduced talent a big push. So they're having them work these weirdly overly competitive matches to make them seem average. So I don't remember Tyler Bate ever wrestling a match against an enhancement grade guy that was anything like this.
In fairness, Danny Burch is, I think, more than enhancement talent. I think they have plans for him.
I hope so. They've put him on NXT twice in the last 2 months, and usually if you're not a job guy and they put you on more than once every 8 months, then you're probably going somewhere. But like they specifically said in his promo package, and again the announcer said it, that he hadn't, he boxed from 6 until 16, and he's like, how we looked it up earlier, or not earlier, but we've looked it up before. He's like what, 40, almost 40?
38, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not surprised that boxing isn't part of his shtick, but he landed a perfectly great punch, and yeah, I don't know, like it was as much boxing as I was prepared to see. He definitely needs more work, which is a weird thing to say about a 38-year-old or 38-38-year-old. who I'm assuming has been wrestling for quite a while. I'll just look it up, but it was weird. They didn't really have great chemistry. It's not what I'm used to seeing at a Pete Dunne matches, and it was good, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah, let's see here. Martin Stone, aka Danny Burch, 35 actually. So we're overselling the age a little bit. Also, his actual name is Martin Harris. Apparently, his ring name was Martin Stone, and now it's Danny Burch.
Yeah, aka also Joe Riot.
He has been active since 2003, so that's about 14 years in the business. And yeah, a little shorter than I thought he was.
9 feet tall.
No, 6 feet tall.
7,500 kilometers tall.
That would be really impossible, I think.
Holds all of the titles on one toenail.
It would be possible, assuming, certain levels of proportionality. Yeah, it probably would have been better for Pete Dunne to have a little bit more of a dominant performance here, get him over a little bit more than to have him have a competitive match. But it depends where they go with Danny Burch from this, I think, largely. If he ends up being like an afterthought, this match is going to be a kind of a weird thing. But if he ends up being someone they try to build something with, it could be good. Although I'm not exactly hankering for a return match because, kind of as you said, this didn't have the greatest chemistry in the world, and there's probably better things you can do with Pete Dunne.
I'm not really sure why they keep doing these matches. Like they did it, they keep doing it with Shinsuke Nakamura, which is not how you make a megastar at all. They keep doing it with Drew McIntyre. I keep, Drew Gallentire. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Like, I understand if you do it with Chris Hero because not a lot of people know who he is if they're just straight WWE fans, but I would assume that NXT fans would be more involved and would know more about his past. So there's that. I just don't get what creative is trying to do, or maybe it's just this one road agent that's doing all of these weirdly competitive matches, or he's trying to put over competitive matches that everybody just wants to see the cool guy kick the shit out of the guy who's not cool, pretty much in these particular cases.
In fairness, I mean, this is a title match, so it shouldn't be like complete enhancement.
Yeah, which is why I don't understand why they had Danny Burch go out there.
Yeah, I probably would have gone somewhere else. A couple of the guys they had in the UK Classic were just kind of better wrestlers and probably would have better chemistry with Pete Dunne than Danny Burch, so he was an odd choice for this. Very cool finisher though for Dunne. He hit the bitter end, which is that pump handle flatliner combo, which is really neat. And he got a little bit of mic time. Nothing special, but it did the job. Then we had Velveteen Dream backstage, and
I wish
someone
so fucking awkward, bud.
Someone shoot this gimmick dead.
Yeah. How long have they been promoting this gimmick? 2 months?
Quite a while.
Yeah. I wish he just wasn't so fucking awkward, bud.
Like, I do like Patrick Clark, and I think there's something he can do in the future. I know you're not really with me on this one, but I do think that there is something there. But this gimmick, this gimmick is the Orlando Jordan gimmick from TNA, although they haven't officially gone with the bisexual portion of it yet. And that died a death, so I don't know why you're doing it again.
It's like somebody is trying to take Goldust and the Prince Iaukea gimmick, or the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea gimmick, and doing it with a guy who's just awkward.
Which was the Orlando Jordan gimmick.
Yeah, but I mean, I can see potential there. I can see that he's got a certain presence to him, but he's really awkward in the ring. But I don't know if that's part of the gimmick. Like, is he supposed to be fighting like he's very effeminate? Is that why he's throwing the weird clubbing forearms?
I think that's what it's. I think that's the gimmick, because I've seen him throw like a proper punch before. he can do it. Yeah, I don't know. This needs to go away.
I can't. I'm not familiar with this guy at all, so I can't tell what's awkward gimmick and what's just him not being good at it yet.
Then we got an Authors of Pain package, which the Book of Pain is apparently closed, and we're now on to the Book of Dominance.
Yarp.
Then we moved on to what I assumed was going to be a squash match that took an interesting turn. Andrade Cien Almost versus Cesar. Was it Bonani? That was the name?
Something, yeah, Banana Head, something like that. Apparently he's Brazilian. They made mention of him being Brazilian.
He had the Brazil. He had the Brazil flag on his trunks.
Yeah,
at the back.
They made mention of him being good at BJJ, which I saw zero of.
Saw a little bit of like Muay Thai, kind of.
Yeah, and dude, that was the hardest chop I have ever heard.
Yeah, it was up there.
And the whole crowd started just chanting "Uno mas, Uno mas, Uno mas." I'm like, no, and you could kind of see it in his face, like, I don't think I want to do that to him again.
So the match was pretty much a squash up until the point where Andrade Cien almost went for some kind of suplex it looked like he was going for, and got countered into a small package roll-up and a victory for Cesar.
Yeah, I thought that was actually the execution on the small package was perfect. That guy has a small package down to a science. He held it totally legit. He held him down. If you would have told me that was a shoot, and somebody told Benoni to do that and don't tell Cesar, what is it? This is Cien Almas. Julio Almas. If somebody would have told me that backstage somebody told him just go out there and shoot, hold him down at the end, and don't let him get up, I would have bought that. I would buy that story.
Honestly, I would kind of buy that story based on the fact that Almost got really mad originally and then really just laughed it off, and I wouldn't actually roll this out of the equation for being something like that. I don't really know what to make of this match.
Listen, it was a really good match. I really enjoyed watching Cien Almas actually finally get to do his thing in the ring rather than be part of somebody else's thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've slowly over the last couple of months become more appreciative of him and what he kind of brings to the party, and I'm really interested to see where this is going with this more and more openly laughing off losses and not caring that he's not winning and things like that. I don't know where they're gonna go. Like, are they trying to, because he started the faction that Naito was part of in the Ingobernables.
Indeed. La Sombra.
And so I'm wondering if they're trying to make him into the WWE Naito, because I think Naito's far surpassed anything he was involved with Mexico. So it'll be interesting to see what storyline are they possibly putting him in, or is creative just shitty at things and doesn't have anything, and it'll be really funny to make him go out there and lose for 6 months.
I think all of the above is possible, completely possible. I think even the idea that this is a shoot and he offended someone backstage is not actually even that far out of the question. It's really weird.
Worst case scenario, they have a plan and somebody that the person they're putting him into an angle with gets called up to the main roster and he gets stuck there alone and they just leave him in permanent losing mode nonstop. Because they're so uncreative.
That would be a complete waste of a great talent.
So it's perfect talent. WWE booking then. So that's probably what's going to happen.
I'll kind of finish it off by saying it's really interesting to see the enhancement talent be bigger than the proven star. That was a bit weird. Then we had Billy Kay and Peyton Royce doing I don't know what the fuck this was.
Jesus, they're so fucking annoying. They're not even heel I hate you because you're an evil heel. It's just I don't want you on TV.
Yeah. And I know that these two girls can be decent TV. I've seen it, but this was ugly. This I don't know what this was.
Well, they were just trying to set up Ember Moon as being badass. I
Yeah,
don't know if
I
she's
got
gonna.
that part, but like the lead
I
up
don't
to
know
it
if
of
they're
just like,
going to
what
try
the
to.
hell?
I don't know if they're gonna. There were. If this was a one-off thing, I guess whatever. If this is gonna be an angle where she tries to beat the shit out of, or she goes out there and establishes herself as the legit contender by having to go out and kick the shit out of both skinny Australian chicks, then I guess that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I would prefer not to have any of these training room segments with the dastardly duo or whatever anymore. That's just not a thing I need to see
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I don't want this to happen again. It got over that Ember Moon is back and that she's a badass, so it achieved that, but never again, please. Then we went to Hideo Itami backstage at Takeover, going on just an absolute rampage, and Cassius Ono and him kind of getting a little heated, and then apparently they made up before NXT, and this kind of made me think that either Hideo would come out to help them in their tag match, or that he would completely turn on Cassius Ono and help Sanity. Neither of which happened, so good on you, I guess.
Yeah, I'm fine with them doing a slow play of whatever Itami's doing for now. I mean, they can't wait too long. They don't have. I don't think they have that much time with him. So they need to get his shit in order in the next, I would say, 3 months, and then get him up to main roster before. Well, maybe
Mm-hmm.
they could debut him at Survivor Series, but I wouldn't want to wait that long.
Mm-hmm. And then we had Cassius Ono and Roderick Strong versus Eric Young and Alexander Wolf. This was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, it was pretty good. Um, Oddly enough, I thought Chris Hero was the weaker part of this. Like he just sort of he's kind of flat and kind of didn't have any bounce to him. I don't know if he's injured or if he's just really tired or what the hell happened, but he just kind of to me he just kind of was very sluggish.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these crisp power moves that I'm used to seeing or power strikes just kind of were, for the lack of a better term, just kind of mushy and flat.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Alexander Wolf was probably the weakest part of the match. I
Yeah,
haven't I haven't
and
seen a lot of him wrestling, so I don't really know what to make of him. Perhaps
that
you're more familiar.
that might actually play into my thing about Chris Hero because now that I'm remembering things, maybe every time he went after Wolf, things could have kind of just didn't work out well.
It's
So
possible.
it may have been Wolf not being in position correctly or something like that. I know I'm not familiar with him at all. I've just kind of seen him as part of Sanity.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of him in Sanity. I like his character. I like the facials he puts on. I like the body language. I like just the general vibe of him kind of being crazy and a little bit out of control. I
I
like
could do
that.
without I could do without his Heidenreich theatrics of just kind of like throwing a leg up in the air straight for no reason, Draymond Green style.
A little
It's like
bit,
he's
a little
it's
bit.
like he's half a marionette and just kind of like waving one arm and one leg spastically.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of him as like a technical wrestler, but like it's pretty good. The match was basically that Roddy and Hero controlled early. I'm gonna call him Hero because I don't really call him Cassius Ono.
Yeah, it's a
Until
weird
basically
name.
until Killian Dane got involved a couple times to turn the tides over to the heels, who would then execute. No, isolate Hero to beat him down a little bit.
Mm.
Really mistimed commercial in this one because right when I was kind of getting hyped into the match, we went to commercial, and that wasn't great. Like
Especially because it's on the network.
on the network, on the
You
network.
fucking idiots. You can
Anyway,
put you. It's on the network. Put 3 or 4 commercials in between matches. It's
yeah,
fine. You
yeah,
can edit things. Nobody cares.
yeah. Mm. Then we ended up with Roddy getting the hot tag. Roddy always does a great hot tag. Really does.
Mm-hmm.
He runs wild very well. I liked his backbreaker on the apron to Eric Young. That looked like it hurt like a bitch.
And Eric Young
Um,
sold it like an epileptic.
yeah, which he always does. Which he always does. So Roddy's working over Alexander Wolf, and then Young makes a blind tag. Comes in, Roddy doesn't see it. He gets hit, taken down, and then we get Chris Hero saving Roddy from the double team by taking out Wolf. But then Eric Young wants Killian Dane to come in and take care of business. And then No Way Jose comes out and makes his big return to fight off the big man.
That was great. I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Yeah. This was kind of where I thought a Tommy was going to come out and like stop Dane and then hit Ono for some reason, but that didn't happen. And then Hero took out Alexander Wolf with a roaring elbow, and the end of Heartache to Eric Young from Marty gets the 3 count and the victory for the Faces.
I think I've identified the difference between the end of Heartache and the lumbar check.
End of Heartache appears to be higher on the back.
Exactly. It's like between the shoulder blades rather than in the lower back. So, infinitely safer.
Yeah, after you brought that up, I decided I wanted to have a look at that when he hit it here. Yeah, that's pretty much the difference.
Indeed.
Also, I think Eric's has a little bit more snap to it, or not Eric's. Roddy's has a little more snap to it than Cedric Alexander.
Well, he is the Messiah of the backbreaker.
He is the Messiah of the backbreaker, and he is fantastic at them. Yeah. So once again, if you put Eric Young in the ring with Roderick Strong and Chris Hero, I'm probably gonna like it, and I did. So mission accomplished there. I will say that this feud is a bit odd in its booking logic, because you had Roddy win basically what was a 3-on-1 at the pay-per-view. Granted, Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane didn't get involved all that much, but
and he Pearl Harbored him right off the bat too.
Yeah, so. But he kind of got the win right away, and now he's calling in basically No Way Jose and Cassius Ohno to help him. It's a bit unusual, put it that way. Maybe it'll grow on me, maybe it won't. We'll see.
Yeah, as we were saying before we started recording, Sanity's been running wild on the entire roster for as long as they've been around. So they have to change it up at some point, or they have to call them up immediately. And I don't think they have any plans of calling them up immediately.
I just think you could have assembled kind of a face team to be the ones to set them back. Kind of like basically what they're doing now, but they're doing it kind of after they already lost, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah, but this might, again, my booking situation would be to do this a couple, maybe even 2 more times. Roddy Strong just keeps getting the upper hand on him, and Eric Young goes completely ballistic, and they start just like 4-on-1 beat downs in the back every single week for a while. But what they're doing, they gave him all those promo packages. And he's a new father, and he's had to overcome a lot, and he's a veteran, and he's gonna. So, I mean, they're doing all this stuff with him, and they're obviously trying. If they don't push him to the title, then they're gonna push him to the point where he's outgrown NXT and he needs to come up to the main roster, which I think is what they want to do anyway.
And I would be on board with that. I'm a big Roddy Mark. I always have been.
Imagine if he shows up in the S to wrestle Sami Zayn. Ooh.
I was like the only person, I think, way back in ROH who was like, I like Roddy Strong more than Austin Aries.
No, I've always.
I think I was largely alone on that. Okay, well, once again, we agree on something that no one else agrees with me on.
The only person I preferred more than Roderick Strong was Davey Richards.
I mean, we instantly know who my least favorite member of the Next Generation was.
That would be
Jack
Daniels.
Jack.
That's probably also true.
Well, and that's actually, in fairness, that's no even real disrespect to Jack Evans. The Next Generation is like got to be one of the best stables. Really,
it was Generation Next.
Generation Next, whichever the order was probably one of the best stables you can think of. I mean, you had Alex Shelley initially was in there, and of course they feuded with him afterwards after kicking him out. But Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, Matt Sydal, Jack Evans, that's a hell of a group right there. That's a hell of a group.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now. We had Alex Shelley, Aries, Sabin, Evans, Sydal, and Roderick Strong.
I can't remember Sabin being in there now.
Well, he's Shelley's boy, so I'm not surprised.
But this was before the whole Motor City Machine Gun angle, so.
Yeah, well, that's probably where they connected or were first able to work together.
It's quite possible. I'm again not saying wrong. I can't for the life of me remember Sabin being in the group. Maybe it was like a really short time or something.
That could be. He might have only been in there for like a couple of shows, or maybe he only worked one promotion. Excuse me.
Quite possible. It's in fairness. I don't really remember a lot of Chris Sabin in ROH at that time, so maybe he worked with them in other promotions that I was not particularly watching at the time. That would be my guess. But that's probably pound for pound the best group you're ever going to find in pro wrestling. So there you go. So that was NXT. It was a good show. Nothing got me like properly amped at any point. But reasonably good in-ring action, some interesting stuff with where we're going with Andrade Cien Almos. The Sanity stuff could be quite interesting. We're interested where they go with the Tommy's storyline as well. Who's next for the Authors of Pain? So we're left with a lot of questions and a lot of reasons to tune in next week. So I think it did its job. I think this is an example of a pretty well put together show.
It's the best show they put together all week.
The rest of WWE, please take notice.
Please, pretty please. When are they just going to cancel Raw and have only NXT for the rest of the eternity?
I would be on board with that, or give over Raw to the people who currently run NXT.
Can we get a 3-hour NXT? That would be great.
That would be fantastic, because there's a lot of roster there that could use a lot more exposure. That's all we got for today. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time. We're going to be doing some Lucha Underground stuff in the near future. And probably maybe not tomorrow. I'm a little busy tomorrow, but probably like Saturday. We can kick back and hook ourselves up with some Lucha.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, that's all. I'm Mike. He's Byron. We'll see you next time.
Now get out.